Welcome to our Divine Partnership Joint Connection. Yes, we have this premiering weekly, and we also very separately have the Super Chats. Those of you that follow us, we do have one day a month that's hosted within our YouTube membership. So if you do want to come through and join us, you're able to. All booking information directly below. Without further ado, let's take a look at the energy for this week. Now, this will take us from the weekend through to the following month. And we're going to be having a look at what I see psychically, especially through the tarot, the ruin cast, and the crowning energy. And already it is looking pretty interesting. I have really psychically felt more than likely, I think it started, it did start at the beginning of the year, but it really is coming through psychically quite heavily most recently. And this was for those of you that were having communication back in 2017, depending on what wave of twin you were. And those of you that were in and out and maybe in communication, and it won't matter whether you are or aren't. There was a pocket group of a situation going on back in 2017 and 18, and it appears to be it's getting ready to do a wrap up for a brand new chapter. Now, I'm also seeing those that are in union currently, or communication and movement and integrating that situation. It might have been for a long time or a short time. You guys are going to a next level. And those of you, really waiting for that communication, I do believe communication is going to start coming through between now and next month. The other group of you that have been in and out and it's been stagnant, there's been ghosting, then there's been integration that's being done. I'm also seeing that group really going into a secondary stage, which is physical movement. Now, we're going to get into the energy of this ruin cast, and then I'm going to show you the crowning energy, which is quite a positive one, actually. But really, the psychic interpretation of this ruin cast was the fact that in this new chapter, I kept seeing the Fool card in tarot. And in my coaching sessions with clients and twin flames, even those of us that are in union, we went through an energy shift in May with the eclipses back to back. And then coming mid-month, we were in that portal of trying to decipher it, trying to get as grounded as possible, but not necessarily was it feeling the most pleasant, let's put it that way. There was a lot of integration, a lot of changes, and they were happening quite radically also. Now, what I do see from this ruin cast is really making that statement to do with the Fool card and tarot. Sometimes spiritually, when we're integrating, we do tend to have a little bit of attachment, and I do feel divine feminine masculine in the mix. There is, in what we're wanting to go for and strive for, there is going to be some work that's needing to be done. And this can be, I do believe this is in relationship to the joint connection. The reason being is because once you have done that soul work, separation, silence, ghosting, all that work that you've been doing, you do then get the secondary stage of then, like a person who's aware, you're going in to have a brand new chapter. And some of you can feel like you're almost leaving it behind and it's not happening anymore. Others, again, communication will come in because you're doing that. Others of you, it can be, okay, that was the past. Now we're moving into the future, moving into union. And how is that looking? So it's going to really depend on where you are, but there's still movement nevertheless. Now, on a mundane level, this is to do with journey across water, imagination, intuition, artistic creativity, and fluidity. Esoteric meaning, soul journey, psychic powers, initiator of dream. Now, a bit like in astrology, squares can be difficult. Doesn't mean to say it's impossible. And I do feel from a psychological point of view, divine feminine and masculine in the mix of this joint connection, I'll give you a peeky boo at the crowning energy. You're both thinking about this connection, okay? You're both thinking about, okay, if we were to reconcile, how would it look? If you are currently in it, how would it look? What are the changes? I also feel, pardon me, there are some personal goals that you're dealing with. There could be some subject matters you're dealing with at a tactical level and you're becoming 3D, but you're also being realistic. This can be a challenging ruin cast, indicating of a strong test of resolve with no quick solution, which is the long-term goal, right? So it's not so much that It's not happening. It's more, okay, to integrate, to rebuild your ship, especially if you've gone through a breakup and then you've reconciled with your twin. It takes some time to rebuild. So realism is going to be required. It does indicate that you are in possession of a worthy vessel, however. So keep your nerves, set a good course, and all should be well. On an esoteric level, the cast of this ruin may indicate that the quadrant is about to experience a great journey of the soul. Now, particularly as we do move further, we're moving away from eclipses. We're having Saturn and Neptune moving retrograde, which again, it does link to your ascension, whether you know it or not. Spiritually, we're going to have some light bulb moments, and we're going to have some revelations moving into June. Some of you will always feel this energy well before the month is hit, and that is because you are very susceptible as an empath to frequency. I do feel by facing our shadows, we can have some realism, and we can be realistic to do with the next step that we take. And I think both parties here in the mix, divine masculine and divine feminine, are about to really face their shadow and have courage. You know, when we face our shadow, what does it mean? Okay, I'm going to have courage to move, you know, through a tower moment, through the dark, into the star, okay? Because we get the star card, and then you have the brand new beginning. I'd have to get a phone call, didn't I? I think because I didn't put it on silence. I've got my headset on. Let me put it on silence so we can continue. Okay, so you've got your partnership here, you've got your connection. Some of you can be thinking, okay, do I need to leave this behind? It's really funny. You know, I know twin flame path, especially because I am a twin flame, I can completely empathize and understand. I very much have been through this myself. And, you know, there was one moment, especially for channeling and doing readings for the YouTube collective, I remember feeling very disillusioned at a point, but I also had 25 years experience with this individual, plus, you know, not knowing, which was kind of handy, that when we did have our previous breakup, I was a very different soul. And I do recall saying to myself, what was the pattern? What was the pattern prior to coming back into reconciliation? Yeah, the crazy thing, it was always when I'd come to terms with it. And it wasn't that I felt fantastic and I was jumping from the stars saying, I'm so very happy. You know, it was more, I was just very accepting of where I stood. I was maybe, you know, I'd done the unpacking, I'd done the dissecting of it, and really it didn't, at times it didn't make sense. And I'd come to the point where there was less resistance and I was making some personal choices for my own life. And always, because I was honoring that, I would get communication and movement. So the key to it really is keeping that understanding, but really taking stock of where you are right now, which I think the Ruin Cast is about. You're about to have courage to start. You're about to make some personal decisions for yourself. This is also for those of you that do come into communication. It's going to be the work that's done within the connection with that enabling. You're rebuilding. You're trying to let the past go. You're assessing whether this person is wanting to work with you. You can't do the work for them. You're going to be a different person going into it. I really do believe this is how it's going to play out for a lot of you. So we're looking to the past here within the joint connection. We have the past tense position. I think from the Taurus moon, you know, a lot of us have had our nerves at wit's ends, feeling this radical energy of change. And we do have the karmic here. This is my karmic card in the heart of it. You know, this is broken heart. This is feeling regret. Both parties to do with karmic cycles, to do with feeling off kilter in our life, but we're very tense and, you know, maybe creating space and needing a little bit of room to understand what we're wanting. And I feel this is how we're entering the gate. Now, I do feel many of you are wanting your power back. You know, you're wanting to create healthy boundaries. And I do feel at an intuitive level within this joint connection, divine feminine maybe has been taking some things personal. She knows what her goal is, and it doesn't have to be a she, so excuse the reference term. There is a strong feeling for needing to shift something, but looking at a creative point of view. Creativity is very different to manipulation. If it's manipulation, step back and do the shadow work. But I feel in this instant, it is very much divine feminine, really wanting to feel secure, really wanting to feel confident. I do feel, you know, divine feminine's really very ready to know their worth and do that movement. But also look at it from a creative point of view. Okay, where is my power? What do I need to do? I do see the king coming here, which is positive. Some of you, yes, potentially could be in this joint connection, remembering back to a more nostalgic time where divine masculine was more themselves, more neutral, more open, more traditional. And I do feel to the core they very much are traditional individuals, but there was a self-sabotaging frequency that was coming through with this connection. Some of you can, and I will pre-warn, I do believe we can have the feeling of a Mercury retrograde this month, and potentially I feel it's due to Pluto moving back into Capricorn. So are there going to be some tests coming? I do particularly feel so, but I do feel you're going to pass. I do feel you are making some firm decisions on where you're going. There is a situation here with divine masculine bringing the tradition back, and I feel they're coming to the table very traditional. There could have been a blockage with the karmic third party energy due to traditions. But really deep down, this could have been to do with values and wealth. I feel there could be a sudden revelation, a change in direction, a change in the way they're addressing it, especially where it comes to divine feminine. I do feel divine masculine is spying on divine feminine. I do think they're tuning into this. I also feel, divine feminine here is struggling with trusting this path. They aren't quite sure what that is going to look like. You'll always know if it's paranoia from the past. I think it's more on the context of you're going to know. You're going to know when this person is ready. You're going to know. And I do feel you're raising the bench. I feel you're raising the status quo. I feel you're raising the benchmark. I see you over here, divine feminine, and you're really, you're looking to the past. You really were playing for keeps. And you still really do have that energy involved, but it's with a bit more structure involved. You do have faith, but you don't want to live on an edge of faith. You want so much more. I feel you're holding your cards close to your chest. Some of you, there is a person who's trying to come in and offer you a cup of love, but I don't necessarily feel it's that you're holding out for this one key individual, but it could be that this person, this secondary person that's coming in, you're a little bit wary about. Yeah, really pay attention to the conversations that people are having around you. They're actually kind of exposing themselves for who they are. This also can be romantic partners. I do feel who's this? What are they showing me? You're very ambitious at this point. I don't know why they're making reference to. Okay, yeah, there's some people around you at the moment. I think a lot of what you've been through has really taught you a great deal. The innocence of us does change. And I don't think it's that we never have innocence again. I think it's that we're very wary. Could this be with karmic feminines? Yes, I do feel so. Can we have friendships with feminines? I do believe so. I really did personally go through a change where, especially because there was a lot of toxic karmic individuals I met that were feminines, I had to learn to see them in a different light. There's two individuals there that could be quite toxic. Now, they can be in your circle, or they could be in association to your and linking to your divine masculine. There could have been two individuals. I do feel you're being very wary with these individuals. You also don't want any involvement with karmics. You really don't. You want them to sort it. You want them to resolve it. This could be conversations that you're having, i.e., are you single? You could even be looking at this person's patterns and wondering if they have habits here involved and if it's addictive tendencies. And I don't think so. I think, if anything, this person well and truly has really learned their lesson where it does come to the karmic third parties. Some of them can be a little bit run down. I'm also hearing the term divine feminine doesn't want to be anyone's backup plan. You will be willing to work with this person. I do feel there can be this feeling that you really do. You're really coming through where you will be very, very willing to do more work on this. They're making mention to July again. I don't know why July is so important. For some of you, it could be that you're dealing with a Cancerian. That's one message they're giving me. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I also feel it could be a time frame. This could be an Aries or a Libra for some. And again, don't hold, that is the only signs we're channeling here. That's not what I'm getting. I do feel there's a partnership here. And, usually I look at the night and I'm a little bit wary, but I'm not feeling so in this instant. I'm feeling you really don't want to shortchange your chemistry with the person. You really do want chemistry. Some of you are thinking you can only have one without the other. Some of you are thinking about moving forward. I do feel divine masculine is spying on you. This can be at work. This can be where you are. This can be through people that you know, or it could be via social media. But I do feel the spying energy. Some of you directly are communicating with this person. Again, there could have been wellness situations. There's a new chapter coming in here, and it is within the connection. And I feel this new chapter is going to, it's a big, big statement. It's a big movement. So however it's playing out, it's going to take both of you working together to make it work. I do feel people from the past are gossiping about divine masculine. I'm hearing the term their ears are burning. Again, I do see a transition with career. Some of them are thinking too much is going out of their pocket. Some of them are testing the karmic third party. Some of them are thinking, if I wasn't working with this person be here, would they back me up? I feel they're having the courage also in their own life to address some circumstances that they feel are going to take them to their goals, especially in the mix with you. Let's pull a clarifier. What is this, please? I do feel this is towards a karmic partnership or a marriage for some. I also feel, learned lessons. Okay. If there's an individual around them that has manipulated them, they've learnt their lesson, they're bringing it to a head. There's definitely a lot of gossip here. I do feel through the grapevine, this person's doing their research. This person is remapping their plan. I do feel they want to move home. They want to leave. I'm hearing the term they want to get out of Dodge. I'm hearing the term that they want to make you proud. For some of you, they could be dealing with it could be an unwell person. There could be something towards an asset and family and 3 individuals. I'm telling you, they are doing this behind the scene. Okay, let's see in reference to divine feminine, please. Do you feel they're checking? They want to be the man or the masculine that you always wanted. I do feel they're defending you, especially if they know these people and know that they can be quite toxic. They're also not wanting other people to come around you if they're toxic. There's a lot of protection here. Yeah. Okay, something has been pulled down and coming to an end. They're making reference to the next update. They do feel between now and the next update, which is about a week. Okay, a week. They're saying there's something that isn't transforming that they're ripping down. I feel they're pulling a tower down. I do feel those that have been in communication, they already know what they have to do. I actually feel this may take you by surprise. Some of you are thinking this person's doing nothing, they're MIA. Some of you, I'm hearing the term ruthless, but I think this is in a positive way. I don't feel it's in a negative way. They may have to be cruel to be kind. I think they've been quite tactical. They have a plan of attack here. I'm hearing the term investigating, getting their ducks in a row. This could be a divorce for some. Okay, what? I keep bringing the soldier out. Okay, this feels like the hero's journey, but this feels like it's a battle. This feels like whatever this battle is, they're going in and they're pulling the tower down. But I do feel whomever this is in relationship to, they're really not expecting it. They feel quite happy about it. This is called, I'm hearing the term plan of attack. I really do not feel Divine Feminine knows about this. I'm really feeling that I'm none the wiser. Okay, 3 cards, please. Just Divine Masculine, want Divine Feminine to know, please. Regret. There's a lot of regret here. Okay, they're going to regret messing with them. Okay. I'm telling you, this is a plan of attack. Somebody's messed with them, and I feel they're actually got the cards on their side. They're going to checkmate. That's what I'm hearing. Checkmate. I don't even think, especially for those of you that have been in communication, this person hasn't even told you. Yeah, they're tired. They're fed up. They're not doing it anymore. They're sleeping on it. They've worked it out. They're thinking about it day and night. They're already planning their future with you. I'm hearing the term large nest egg and a brand new world. Definitely feel a plan of attack here. Whomever they're dealing with. I'm hearing the term a thorn in their side. And they also feel there's no time like today because, again, back to the ruin cast, this rebuild is going to take a long time. So they're getting time and money together. They're not waiting any longer. They're looking at their direct connection. They're planning an attack behind the scene. They're not even telling Divine Feminine here. They already know the PDF of what Divine Feminine wants. For some of them, they're aching to communicate with you, and I do see this wrapping up. We will come back and check this next week. They have made reference to it. Feel free to come through, or to get our other content ahead of the crowd, you can join a YouTube membership. I will see you soon. Take care and tell me how this lands. I love the gossip.